Hello, it's Dario, and in this video, I want to explain how I manage my money in Switzerland. With a simple diagram, I will not use the slideshow functionality of PowerPoint because it's easier this way. It's really not meant to be a presentation. It's just more to talk about the apps that I use, to talk about the services that I use. Because maybe you are coming to Switzerland, or maybe you live in Switzerland and you either pay too much to manage your money, or you have no idea how to manage your money in Switzerland. So let's go through the apps. I will tell you some feature of them. Of course, I'm not sponsored by any app, and also I'm not an expert of any of these apps, and so I really cannot give you a complete overview on them. But let's start and let's go step by step. So the most important part is my employment. So I'm employed in Switzerland. This is my main source of income. I don't have any other main side hustles that would even compare to my employment. And everything that my employer gives me, they put it either into the first and second pillar in Switzerland, or to my bank account. Let's first dive into the second and first pillar, and then I will talk about this app that you see here. So a part of my salary goes into the first pillar, which is the mandatory social pension, and a part of that I have to pay it, and a part of that my employer has to pay it. Maybe one day I will go into a deep dive on first, second, and third pillar in Switzerland, basically the pension, how the pension works in Switzerland. But yeah, that's a social pension. That means that if you earn a lot of money, you could put in more than you get out. And also, there is no account on your name. I mean, there is a virtual account. They know how much money you have put into the first pillar. But yeah, half of that is paid by me out of my gross salary, and a part of that is paid by my employer. And when you go to in Switzerland, if you come in Switzerland and you find a job, you will negotiate the gross salary. Yeah, from that they deduct about 5% from for the first pillar, another 1% for unemployment insurance and other insurances, some other percentages for other insurances. Maybe one day again I will talk about this as well. And then they also deduct the second pillar. Now, the second pillar works in two layers. The first layer is the mandatory layer, where I have to pay and my employer has to match it. It's about 50-50. And then there is a secondary layer, which is the complementary layer, which is not mandatory by law. But if your employer wants, they can give you more money. And you also can pay in more money. Usually it's the employer that decides how much money you can pay on top of the mandatory. So a part of that goes directly into the second pillar and the first pillar. I don't manage that money. It just sits there. The first pillar, it goes to the elderly, and the second pillar sits there. It's invested by a third private company, and I will get it when I go to retirement, or when I want to buy a house, or when I want to open a business, but usually when you go to retirement. Again, there are various options how you could get back that money. Maybe I will talk about it one day. But now let's go to the main part. So my employer gives me my paycheck, and the paycheck is deposited into my bank account, which is Neon. So it goes directly with a bank transfer. It's called Neon Bank. It's a fintech company. Neon is only actually a facade. It's just a platform. And then Neon uses another bank to keep your money, which is Hypotheker Bank Lenzburg. And that's where actually your money is kept. So you also have a contract with that bank. So that way they don't need a banking license to give you the app, because the banking license would require a lot of regulation, and the bank keeps your money secure. So it's not Neon cannot touch your money, as far as I know, at least, and I hope it's that way. And also your money is insured just like any other bank account in Switzerland, up to 100,000 francs. I would say if you have a lot of money, and you don't have much other accesses to your wealth, maybe keep more than one bank account. For example, my girlfriend doesn't have Neon. She has another bank account. So that way we kind of have a backup, because if I should have money problems with Neon, in the sense that for some reason the platform doesn't work, I cannot access my money temporarily, I can ask for a loan from my girlfriend, or I could take money from my investments, which are kept with another account. I don't invest with Neon, even though you could do it, but to me it costs too much. So maybe consider keeping multiple bank accounts, but as a start, especially if you don't have a lot of money, or you don't have a lot of big expenses, you can keep Neon. To this date, they were pretty reliable. They have some platform problems, in the sense that maybe for 1 or 2 hours you cannot log in. They had this, especially in the beginning, because they had a lot of new clients, and they were still small. But now things started to go better. It's of course free. It's completely free. Both the savings account and the current account are completely free. There are options by which you could pay. There is the first option, which is like, I think, neon green, it's called, where you somehow contribute to the to environmentally positive aspects. I think they plant trees basically with the money that you give them. Or you can have the neon metal, I think it's called, where you pay like 15 francs a month, and then you have some insurances for your phone, travel insurances, I think. You get a metal card, and then you have like that you can withdraw a limited amount of money abroad without paying, and so on. But with the free account, you get the free current account, you get free savings account, you get free bank transfers in Switzerland and in Europe with SEPA transfers, and you get two withdrawals at any ATM in Switzerland. And if I don't remember if I remember correctly, you also get one withdrawal of a maximum of 500 francs abroad. But especially, you don't pay any currency conversion fees. And I tested this, so I know. So if I convert with Neon, or if I go on Google and search for the conversion rate, or if I use interactive brokers, the currency conversion is basically the same. Of course, Neon uses MasterCard conversion rate. Interactive brokers uses the bank exchange system. So those are completely different things. And of course, they cannot be precisely the same rate, also because currency conversions are not open on weekends, but I can still pay with Neon. But I tested, and it's basically the same. On the contrary, for example, I also have a credit card, which I will talk about later, with Visa, and there I see that the conversion rate is not correct. So I don't, even though the bank doesn't charge me any conversion fees. But yeah, but usually banks in Switzerland will charge you 1 to 2% just to convert. Keep an eye on that, and try to get free accounts. Another alternative, which is what my girlfriend uses, is U. U is a joint venture from Swissquote and Post Finance. Swissquote is the bank that keeps your money, and I think it's also the main bank that develops the app, I think. But there is also Post Finance in that. So after the money goes into Neon, it gets split. It gets split into Neon spaces here on the right. So this is here, Neon spaces. And also it gets to our joint account. Me and my girlfriend have a joint account. This is not our balance. This is just an image from Google. We have a joint account that we use to either save for money that we want to spend together in the future, or save or the money that we need to spend for that month. For example, for groceries, for the rent, for the household, and stuff like that. When it comes to the savings, so when they go to savings, my savings are divided mainly into two categories: are either taxes or savings. Taxes are money that I put aside to pay for taxes. If you watch my videos on my monthly updates on my economy, these are not included in my net worth. So yeah, that's a way to make sure you have because in Switzerland you don't pay taxes every month. You pay them at the end of the year when you do your tax return. So I keep aside some money, and when I will have to pay taxes, I take the money out of there. And then everything else goes to savings. When we go to the side of the joint account, we have joint savings accounts. We have a saving account for camper or our vehicles, like the motorcycle or the camper. The motorcycle, in all reality, it's mine, so I spend money to maintain it. But for example, the camper or the scooter that we had together, that was an expense that would be here, saved for here. And then we have activities and fun or vacation, and then we have household. Why do we, so in Neon, this is another nice thing. You have one saving account, but that saving account can virtually be split into multiple sub-saving accounts. So it's nice because you can keep track of everything and you can really do a budget and save for those expenses that you know you are going to incur. I know you can do this with a spreadsheet. You could have a savings account and then do a spreadsheet, but it's easier this way, I would say. And then, of course, right from the current account of the joint bank account go out the joint expenses. From my Neon account, from the debit card that I have with Neon, they go out my personal expenses, and then I have an additional credit card, which is with Migros. It's called Cumulus Visa Credit Card, which is again free, completely free, without currency exchange fees. But as I said, the Visa exchange rate is worse than what is the Interactive Brokers exchange rate. It's worse than what you see on Google, and it's worse than MasterCard, at least for my transactions. I don't know if it's for everyone like that, but for the transactions that I did, I checked them for the right date and they were worse. So just keep in mind that. How do we use the credit card? We both have a credit card. We use it basically to defer payments. For example, if I don't want, because I do cash accounting, and I don't want to account for a big expense in the month of June, and I want to account it in July, I use the credit card to put the money into July. It doesn't change anything. It just changes mentally. It's mentally better for me to keep track of it that way. But in all reality, the main reason is when we have to buy flight tickets, for example, or things for vacations, because there we have an insurance. So if I buy things online on websites that I really don't trust, or if I want to buy something for a vacation that could be canceled because of my illness or because of problems, I buy with credit card because with the credit card, I have an insurance. It's not an insurance in the sense that they give you the money back if they have fraud. That you have also with the debit. But I really have an insurance. So we have an insurance on rescue. So if you need rescue, you have an insurance up to 60,000 francs. Of course, there is no need for you to pay the ski pass if you want to go ski with the credit card. You have it either way. But for example, if you fall ill and you cannot go on vacation, you need to pay a certain percentage of your vacation with the credit card to be able to use the insurance. And then if you get fraud on the internet and so on, that's also covered. But that's also covered with a debit, I think. But yeah, we have some insurances. You can go on the website of Cumulus Credit Card and you will see the insurances that they offer if you have the credit card. That's why we both have it. And we try to spend a little bit of money every month, maybe 1, 2, 3 francs every month, so they don't close our account because we really have it because of these insurances. It's not a joke. The insurances are really good, and that's one of the main reasons why we have it. And then we have it also again because of these big purchases. Then when it comes to my investments now, after the money went into savings, it stays there until it grows big enough to make it make sense to be invested. The first investment that I do before I do my private investments is the third pillar. I have a third pillar with FinPension. The composition of my third pillar is a bit personalized. You can see it in the updates that I do. You can check my YouTube channel. You will see the updates. I do them quarterly. So here is where my third pillar pension funds go. You can deposit a maximum of 7,056 francs into the third pillar per year to be tax deductible. Everything else that you put more is no longer tax deductible. And because fin pension costs about 0.4% per year, you just cannot it wouldn't make sense to deposit. But usually I try to fill up the 7,000 and then I invest ordinarily. So let's go to the ordinary investments. These are normal investments in ETFs. Again, if you go watch my quarterly updates on my finances, my economy, you will see how I invest. I invest with Interactive Brokers, one of the best brokers, I think, for people that live in Switzerland. I know from countries like Germany, I think France also, and Italy, they have a very difficult tax system or a fairly difficult tax system, and Interactive Brokers doesn't help them. But in Switzerland, we have it fairly simple, and Interactive Brokers works perfectly. It's very cheap, and yeah, overall perfect. I would recommend it. So from the savings, it goes into my Interactive Brokers account, and from there I buy shares of ETFs and so on. And then the last one is the savings could go to Bitstamp. Bitstamp is a cryptocurrency exchange, and from Bitstamp, once I bought the cryptocurrencies, they go into my wallet, which is Exodus. I don't buy any cryptocurrencies anymore. I bought some in 2017, I think, and those are the only ones I bought. I never bought them again. I transferred them all in Exodus and I keep them there for fun. If you want to know how much and which cryptocurrencies, again, there is my financial update every quarter. Then lastly, the savings could also go into our business that I have with my girlfriend. Of course, to this date, it only went once to start the business, to fund the business. And what do we use? We use Post Finance because, of course, Neon doesn't have any business account, and Post Finance is fairly cheap. It's 5 francs a month, and for the first 2 months, you have it for free if you are newly started business. The debit card costs 30 francs, but the credit card is free for the first year. But probably the credit card we will cancel it because we don't use it. But yeah, that's only for the business. From the business, we don't take out any money to pay ourselves. We don't give ourselves a salary because the business just started, doesn't have any money to give, only expenses. But yeah, that's basically it. So the apps that I use are mainly Neon, and then we use a joint Neon account. My girlfriend uses You as her main bank account. She previously had the Credit Suisse online bank account. I don't remember how it's called. I think CXX, something like that. But she doesn't use that anymore. Also because after 26 years old, you have to pay for it, and also it doesn't give you the chance to subdivide your savings account into multiple sub savings. But the U app and the Neon app, they both give you this option. I don't know any other app that does this. If you know it, please leave it a comment. Then I also use the Spaces feature of Neon, which gives me the chance again to subdivide my savings. For my personal expenses, I use the debit card of Neon. For the joint expenses, we use a debit card of Neon Joint. And then for the extraordinary expenses or expenses where I need an insurance, I use the credit card from Migros, the Cumulus credit card. For my investments, I use FinPension for my third pillar, Interactive Brokers for my ordinary investments, Bitstamp to buy cryptocurrencies, and Exodus to keep them, and Post Finance as a business account. And that's basically it. Thank you for listening. If you have any suggestions or if you want to share your experience, please leave a comment down below. Let me know how you manage your money in Switzerland or elsewhere. If you live in Italy, in the US, in Germany, let me know how you manage your money. And I will see you guys in the next video.